that, of course, we find this collaboration very, very interesting, which is also why we just wanted to request this follow-up meeting to kind of better really understand where this can take us and how we should move forward best way. So I might start by saying that we generally offer like services, telemedicine services, and our approach to Fullerton Health during our initial meeting was for us to supply you with like telemedicine services, how that would embrace your services is what we are supposed to talk about today. But we're also, I'm also a little bit interested to understand the initial conversation, Julia, you had with Nesta to better understand what kind of proposal or what kind of partner collaboration proposal did Nesta give to you. So maybe we can start with the last question for us to better really understand what did you expect from this particular collaboration, and then we can go into a little bit more details later down in the meeting. Julia.
Okay. Well, first with Nesda. Nesda really is a kind of a partner for us when it comes to doing events, actually.
Okay.
So um they provide us a space for when we conduct events for our corporate clients. And that's mainly really our partnership with them.
Okay.
Yeah. Now for my pocket doctor, um it what we are envisioning for our collaboration is one, um my pocket doctor being a source for us to easily connect our clients to specialists after the executive health screening is done, and should their results require further analysis by a specialist. And then the other side of it is, as I've mentioned before, the referral to us for radiology services or even executive health screening. So, because my pocket doctor does have specialists, and they may require their patients to do X-ray, CT scan, or mammograms. They could refer those procedures to us.
Okay. Well, that's pretty straightforward. I guess that's also where we kind of that was pretty much also our own conclusion. So I think because we have our chief operating officer right now, and we also have our operation officer, and we also have a nurse here in the meeting, and we have our marketing head here. So this is a little bit of an exercise because our collaboration with Nesta is brand new, and you're the first lead they've referred to us. So we were, sorry to say, a little bit unprepared on the marketing side of things. Operations is everything is absolutely working fine, but marketing side a little bit unprepared. So thank you so much for taking the time, Julia, to entertain us here once again. So I think I would like to leave the word maybe with answer Jake to maybe with a couple of follow-up questions. I don't know, Jake, maybe you want to say something?
Thank you, Peter, and good morning, Julia. I just want to, the first questions I would like to raise would delve more on knowing the actual nature of business of your company. Because to my understanding, your company is not the Fullerton company. Am I right?
Well, we are a Fullerton Health company. Uh, how about I introduce first our what we do? So
Your first is the your business profile. Are you Fullerton per se, or are you an affiliate, a subsidiary, a franchisee, or something like that? Because that is not yet clear with us, Julia, no, with due respect. So that's one
Mhm.
thing we need to seek clarification from you as to your business profile, the ownership, if that's not confidential, and how, if you are not Fullerton, and how are you related to Fullerton?
Okay.
Those questions, basic questions, Julia, so we can better have an appreciation of the business processes that we will have to seek partnership with your organization.
Okay. So, um, we are a Fullerton Health company. However, in a legal sense, the legal entity here in the Philippines is Radlink Philippines Corporation. However, but in Singapore, Radlink is also a part of Fullerton Health, the Fullerton Health Group. So basically, Fullerton Health Group owns Radlink, the Radlink Group in Singapore. So, and then a few years back, Radlink entered the Philippines, providing radiology services to the Aventus clinics. And then the Fullerton Health Group invested in IntelliCare. So that's another, I think, something that you would, it's good that you know, is the Fullerton Health Group is a majority owner of IntelliCare. Now, for our business, our clinic brand is, or the name is Fullerton Health Philippines. Um, what we do is with our clinic, there are actually two brands present there. There's Fullerton Health and Radlink. Fullerton Health is the executive health screening side of our business. We do executive health checkups. Um, yeah, we do executive health checkups, and then which is what I mentioned earlier, the side where we would need specialists should our patients require. Now, our Radlink side of the business is the radiology services. We have CT scan, mammogram, X-ray, and ultrasound. Now, that's the side of our partnership that where your doctors can send to us patients that require those procedures. So, um, just to make it simple, our legal entity is Radlink Philippines Corporation, while our brand name, the brand that is visible on our social media and our marketing is Fullerton Health.
Okay, perfect,
Okay.
Julia. I think that makes everything now clear to us with regards to the business connections or relationships between Radlink, which is a radiology
Yes, provider.
diagnostic facility, if you can call
Mhm.
it that way, and it's coined from Radlink is coined from the word radiology, that's why Radlink,
Yeah.
and then your headquarters of Radlink is in Singapore,
Mhm.
and I believe Fullerton is also a Singaporean company. Am I correct?
Yes,
Okay, so
both brands are Singapore.
Both are Singaporean companies, and Fullerton, is Radlink a wholly owned company of Fullerton in Singapore?
That part I am not
Okay, all right.
100% sure.
I
Yeah.
understand, Julia. But there must be a controlling share of Fullerton, so that's why you use the branding and yeah, the
Mhm.
organizational structure. I think points towards you representing Fullerton
Mhm.
in many ways. So here in the Philippines, uh, is there also an entity called Fullerton Asia Private Limited or anything, which is operating separately and distinctly from Radlink Philippines, etc.? Or
Um,
or it's just one entity which combines both business operations, you know, because you mentioned in your business house, you know, call it a business house, you have two basically business processes. No, one is Fullerton doing executive checkups, and the other one is Radling doing the geologic diagnostics. No, so it's just in one house. So is it correct to say that Fullerton and Radling are represented here in the Philippines in just one organization, which you operate?
I think so.
So we don't have to deal with another entity in the Philippines called Fullerton Philippines Asia blah blah. There's no need for that. We will just deal with you on the matter of telemedicine services agreement.
Yes, yes. For
Oh,
us, it's just the Redlink Philippines who would in our contract. It's gonna be Redlink Philippines Corporation.
okay, perfect, Julia. If you allow me to ask more questions. Presently, do you have any business partnership with any telemedicine service provider in the Philippines? With operating or of local registration or a multinational base or regional base registration?
Okay, for us, for Redlink Philippines, we have partnered with various telemedicine.
With who?
Um, we have partnered with various telemedicine
Okay.
groups such as Now Serving. We are also partnered with MWell Health Hub. We've also signed a partnership with Doctor Anywhere and Hello Doctor. But I believe Doctor Anywhere and Hello Doctor in the Philippines do not operate as a telemedicine provider just yet.
They are,
Oh,
Julia, for your
so
information. So
okay.
they are already operating as telemed service provider. In fact, they're operating very aggressively,
Mm,
and they're also a Singaporean company, which I'm sure you know.
mm,
um,
yeah.
but
But yeah,
the nature.
yeah.
Go
However,
ahead, Julia.
Doctor Anywhere and Hello Doctor, we have not engaged them as strongly with telemedicine, or our partnership has not yet gone to that stage. I think our
Would you care to tell us why?
um
Considering again that you know it's a Singaporean company, and you know likelihood Singaporean companies would uh, uh, tap on fellow Singaporean companies to partner with, you know,
yeah,
so it's much
I'm not
easier, same nationality.
yeah, well, I'm not really sure
All right.
why we've not seen any progress with our partnership with them. But yeah, we do have a like a marketing partnership with them where we were supposed to like do joint campaigns, or we can tap them to do joint campaigns together. But I believe the strongest partner we have right now is um Now Serving and MWell Health Hub.
All right. MWell is the Pangilinan Group, no?
Yes,
So you're talking about Consulta MD?
not Consulta MD, the MWell Health Hub.
Oh,
But
okay,
I
okay.
think Consulta MD is
Yeah, because MWell has a bigger scope of business, you know, not just
yeah,
telemedicine, but they also do clinics, they also do even diagnostics, they
yeah.
do
We are present
mental
through
health.
their app, the
Okay.
Health Hub app.
Okay, so moving on to the next question, and forgive me for asking a lot, Julia. And you
So,
can you can answer only if it's okay, you know. Otherwise, there's no pressure for you to answer.
mm.
And you work there as the CEO or
Me? No, I'm a
yeah?
senior marketing associate.
Okay, great, great. So that's why you know very well the organizational structure, no, the setup, no, and the business processes, no, and even the
Mm-hmm.
partnerships you have with the some entities. So that's good to know, because at
Mm-hmm.
least we know that we're dealing with someone who has a wide breadth of knowledge about the operations, no?
Mm-hmm.
That's makes it much simpler for us to craft any agreement, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then how many diagnostic clinics do you have in the Philippines, and where are they located?
We have for now our first center, only one for now. It's in BGC. Um,
Okay.
if you know the Kalayaan flyover,
Oh yes, very much.
just down that just exiting that in the Bonifacio stopover
Uh-huh.
near Shell gas station.
Okay. So aligned with the Shell, so it's across St. Luke's.
Yes.
Yeah, diagonally across, no, not
Yeah,
directly
diagonally
across, no.
across St. Luke.
Yeah, I could imagine the location, Julia.
Mm-hmm.
I used to frequent that place, no. So
Mm-hmm.
fine, no, that's great, no. So you operate now on one clinic, and would you say how many how big is your client base?
Okay.
And what's the profile basically of your clients? Are you dealing with the A, B,
Mm.
C social
Yeah.
class? You know.
So our client, well, the demographic of our clients, or our clients mainly come from or are split into HMO clients, corporate clients, and walk-in clients or cash paying clients. So since our main business is the executive health screening, most of our clients are managers, executives, and up who are in terms of HMO and corporate are eligible for the executive health screening.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the package that they no that they
yeah, that's our
usually have,
package
no?
that we have.
Correct.
Yeah. However, we've also noticed that for our walk-in market, those people that are cash paying, other than being CEOs, they're also just we've seen younger people in the 30s or early 40s doing the executive health checkup on their own accord as a part of their way to be more proactive in their health.
Yeah, and these are the paying individuals, no?
Yes, being individuals. So
Because mostly HMO clients, they are already covered by their HMO
yes.
package, no? So
Mm-hmm.
it's part and parcel of their coverage. So they go to your
Mm-hmm.
clinic, and then they present their HMO card, and then
Yes.
they go through and they pay nothing, you know, something like
Yes,
that, you know,
exactly.
and they just wait for the results, you know. And who are these HMO member clients that go to you for executive checkup? Which HMO companies are they members of?
Okay.
And are these clients have the flexibility to go to your diagnostic clinic, or they are mandated by the HMO to go only to your clinic exclusively?
Okay. So we have partnered with most major HMOs in the country. As mentioned earlier, we are a majority owner of IntelliCare. So we have IntelliCare, Avega, and then we are also partnered with MaxiCare, FlexiCare, iCare. We also have Pacific Cross, Lacson and Lacson, Aeon, AXA. So mostly the major HMOs. And then regarding exclusivity, um that one we of course what we'd love is for us to have an exclusive contract with
Of course.
those
Yeah, of course,
HMOs.
Julia. Yeah.
But as far as I am aware, there is no exclusivity yet.
Yeah.
Only that we are presented as one of the options to do executive health
Okay.
screening.
Okay, very clear, Julia. So what do you say would be your strength in terms of your facilities and services that would drive these HMO member clients who have the option to go to other diagnostic facilities to use your facility for the executive checkup? What's that a great I would say feature of your diagnostic clinic?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, well, basically for us, what we offer is a better experience when it comes to executive health screening. What we've eliminated in the executive health screening process is the long waiting time. So
Mhm.
you in previous experiences, clients would have to wait for half a day or even spend the whole day in the facility in another facility just to do their executive health screening. With us, what we promise is a 2 to 3 hour turnaround time. And even
Really?
for our more comprehensive package, that includes a CT scan of the heart and the lungs, we can finish that in 3 hours. Clients
How
would,
do that's amazing. How do you do that? You know, unless you
yes,
only have a handful of clients to serve. You know, but
what,
I've
yeah,
been through a lot of executive checkups year in year out. You know, and you're right. You know, I normally spend the whole day. That's why I take a leave from my work. You know, from my
mm,
job, just to complete the executive checkup
yeah,
because it takes time. But you, in your case, it only takes 3 hours.
yes. So what
And
we do,
That's
that's
interesting.
complete already.
yeah, what we do is we do, of course, strictly appointment based. We have 3 time slots to choose from, and then we really are strict with that appointment based setting. So and also what we with our packages are are basic packages, but it's what we say is that it's customizable. You would just need to do what you need to do. So let's say you got our one of our more popular packages, our gender specific package, and then you just and then if there are missing items, you just add on. So you
Yeah, but
don't stack
how
up.
comprehensive? But how comprehensive is your coverage? You know, I mean, do you do everything from X-ray to blood tests to
Yes.
urinalysis, fecalysis, treadmill, etc., etc.? Because if you don't have this comprehensive, full comprehensive package of executive checkups, then it's understandable that your total turnaround time is fast because you only have limited coverage. So unlike on a full hospital executive checkup facility, you go there, you enter the facility in the morning, you finish it in the afternoon, but you cover everything, so you don't have to go to transfer to another diagnostic facility for another type of diagnostics, which is not this does not exist in another clinic where you give preference to, etc., etc. So, do you
Okay.
do full
So
comprehensive,
okay.
Julia?
For example, our Sapphire package is one of our more comprehensive packages that includes a CT scan of the heart, treadmill stress test, whole abdomen ultrasound, X-ray, and blood blood blood
Blood works.
laboratory testing,
Yeah, yeah.
fecalysis, urinalysis. That's
Okay.
done in 3 hours.
Oh,
The
so
only thing that we've
yeah,
noticed that is usually added on is the 2D echo,
which you don't have.
yeah, the 2D echo, which
A-
we can do it in our center should clients require, but they are not a default inclusion in our packages.
And for managers, for example, they are part of their package, for example, is to do uh, what's that you
2D
do
echo,
ange, no, ange for female.
the mammogram,
Yeah, the mammogram and the other one,
breast ultrasound, pap smear.
pap smear. Yeah, do you
That's
do that as
included.
well?
Yes, that's included in our Platinum Hair package.
And you do that in your facility?
Yes.
Okay. So it seems comprehensive enough, you know, and you should be um, attracting a lot of HMO member clients to do their executive checkup in your facility, considering also your convenient location, especially to those working in the BGC
Mm-hmm.
area, no? and maybe even those working in the Ayala area, no, they just
Yes.
have to cross EDSA and McKinley, and then they're already there in your, or Kalayaan rather, no, via
Mm-hmm.
Buendia. So it's very convenient, no. So you should be generating a lot of this requests, no. So yeah, I guess that's a very comprehensive description of what you do, who are your clients,
Mm-hmm.
where's your facility, how many facilities you have, you know. So I think there's a potential, no, I could say right away. Although in terms of a critical mass or volume, I should say, it may be a challenge, no? Because considering you have one clinic or diagnostic clinic, and then you have other partners who can also do similar service to your member clients, you know, along the telemedicine services line. But something worthwhile to explore, Julia, no? I mean, now we can fully understand and appreciate that we need to open our doors to further discussion, so to speak, no? That's all that we wanted to know initially, no? Para so that we can go to the next steps. And Peter and the rest of our team, I'm sure would be able to come up with something that would suit your needs, no? And you mentioned about referrals and specialists, etc. That's something that we would need to discuss internally further, no? We have to go back to our drawing board, discuss with our chief medical officer, you know, how to go about it, you know. But after this meeting, this discussion, I believe there's a potential, you know, although we just have to look into the financial viability of it, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
if everything goes well, then I think we can, you know, we can forge an agreement, and perhaps it's or it may be a good start, so to speak. So I turn you over to Peter or Ange, or whoever wants to say something.
Sure. Ans, do you want to say something? Ange?
Sorry, I was on mute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to check what specialists would you require for you to refer your patients to us?
Okay. So, well, most of the specialists that we typically contact after our executive health screenings are cardiologists. We have also, I believe, uro, OB, and then nutritionists also. Um, those are particularly the ones that we reach out to after our clients do their executive health screening. On the other end, um, I remember, I believe it was Peter who mentioned that your, I think majority or most of your the specialists that you have are pedia, OB, GYN, and dentists, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, those are the specialists that have a limited have limited procedures that they can refer to us. Since we don't really cater to children unless I think depending on the X-ray.
Yeah, because
And
the
then
children are not because the children are not yet executives.
no, no,
Joke.
I meant for
It's just a
the
joke,
yeah,
joke lang.
yeah. Yeah, I meant for like the X-rays.
But
In some cases they are. I mean, they
but
Yeah.
can take total control of their parents. But okay, fine. So we just needed to understand like the post. I mean, one of the things that we have been talking about is like post
The
uh,
post screening.
yeah, post screenings, right? So what can we do in terms of our services, telemedicine services, connected to your products and your services, so that you get a better reach of service to your clients. So the
Okay.
clients leave your facility, and then we can assist with some follow-ups. We can,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Okay. So I think
So I'm sorry, Peter and Julia.
sure.
Before you answer Peter's question, Julia, with your indulgence, let me ask just one very quick question. Do you have doctors in your diagnostic facility, in your single diagnostic facility?
okay, the doctors that we have are lifestyle medicine doctors. They are the ones that do the physical examination and the interpretation of the results. Um, and aside from those, we also have radiologists on site at our clinic.
Yeah, but radiologists are not doctors, they are licensed, definitely, but they are not doctors. So you only have lifestyle medicine doctors?
Yes. So
Why choose lifestyle medicine doctors?
okay. So, well, we have a very particular dispensation from the DOH. We are actually not. We don't have a license to actually diagnose nor treat a client. We can only help them
Oh,
screen.
oo.
We can only help them screen
So
their health.
hindi siya parang Healthway, no? It's not just like Healthway
No,
where
it's
you
not
also
like
have
that.
I
Yeah,
see, I see,
we
I
don't
see.
have
Or
we
or
don't have specialists on
or
site.
it's not like Shinagawa, no, where they have
Mm,
their own doctors, no?
No. So it's very particular and a very
Oh.
new concept in the Philippines. So what we
Oo.
consider our clinic as a screening post, an early detection post where we help clients understand their health profile and then direct them to specialists, to either a hospital or multi-specialty clinics or individual specialists for their particular needs.
So once the diagnostic procedure is completed, then the result is forwarded first to your lifestyle medicine doctors. Is that the process?
Yes, that's the process because the result of our executive health screenings, we do a like our results don't just show the normal values and then your results, but also kind of an explanation on why your results turned out that way. So
Yeah,
this,
that should be
yeah,
the output of any diagnostic
yeah.
procedure, no?
So
There must be some kind of an initial findings by normally the one who would assess the result or make initial findings is not an internal, or it's not a lifestyle medicine doctor, but an MD, no, a doctor, registered doctor, but not a specialist, so that's why the result with the interpretation of the doctor is forwarded to a GP or a specialist, no, for
yeah,
further
well, for
interpretation and analysis.
yeah, lifestyle medicine doctors are also GP doctors. They're also general practitioners in their other clinics that they practice. They
All
just have
right.
a specialization on lifestyle medicine. So,
Mm.
well, with us, the first step for us is to see if those clients, if their results are improvable or could be improved with just like proper diet, lifestyle
Exercise,
changes,
exercise, yeah,
exercise. Because
yeah, yeah.
usually, lifestyle medicine doctors, their first salvo when it comes to assessing results is to see the what changes could be done in their lifestyle before drastic measures are taken.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there could also be I'm not just sure how extensive the I would say the capabilities of these lifestyle medicine doctors are. For example, if the result in a blood work would show very high creatinine, So the lifestyle medicine doctors would know what to prescribe in terms of medicine, not just diet, exercise, etc., but or high uric acid, for example. Of course, you need to do some diet, but you
Yeah.
need to take some allopurinol or some febusoxstat or something like that. So there are certain things that need to be prescribed, not necessarily by a lifetime medicine doctor, but by a GP or a specialist. How is
Yeah.
that handled?
So yeah, as I mentioned, our lifestyle medicine doctors are also general practitioners. Um,
Uh,
which and in this case as well with my pocket doctor, if the results do turn out um um become results that are outside the range of our lifestyle medicine doctors, that is when we refer our clients to specialists. So in
uh,
this case, with my pocket doctor, we can tap your doctor specialist for a teleconsult with our client so that
sige,
they can
sige.
discuss the result and then what further actions to be taken.
Sige. I was already thinking, Julia, that why limit our partnership with the specialist consultation only, but why not extend it to GPs, because we have a pool of GP doctors who can also do telemedicine interpretation of the diagnostic results, no? But since you say that your lifestyle medicine are also licensed GP doctors, then it's fine, no? Now, going back to the specialists, to whom do you refer currently your patients? To which group of specialists, or you just tell them, oh, ma'am, sir, you just seek or go to your cardio and give or show them the result of your diagnostic test here in Radlink, and then that ends the process, So where and how do you refer your patients to the specialist?
Okay. So, well, if our patients tell us that they already have their own preferred doctors, then we just let them go back to their preferred doctor. Um,
Okay.
in the
You give them
case,
the
yeah,
flexibility.
yes, because if it's their preferred doctor, we would not really prohibit them from going back to their known doctor. If the patient that needs a specialist is an HMO client, we refer them to we refer them back to their HMO, because usually if they did their executive health screening or their radiology to us under an HMO, most likely they would like to do any follow-up checkups under the HMO as well. So that's also another consideration that we take. So, but if our clients are walk-in clients, not necessarily don't have a HMO restriction when it comes to their doctors, and they don't have a doctor, we have already pulled a few specialists in our network that we can refer to, and then we've also partnered with various clinics, various multi-specialty clinics such as Aventus, Asian Hospital, and then we've also partnered with, like, as I said, now Serving and Mwell. Those are the areas where we can tap specialists from.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess that's very clear, no? Um, yeah, Peter, go ahead with your follow through questions. Sorry for interrupting you. Yeah.
No, no worries. No, no, I'm just thinking a little bit on the referral program. I'm not going to go so much into the medical thing. I just want to say that we can supply pretty much any specialist that you wish that can cater telemedicine consultations. Just because we say that we only have a limited number of specialists doesn't mean that we cannot acquire the resources to support your needs, Julia.
Mhm.
We just need to know very specifically what it is that you need, and so we can find a way to compensate the specialists for their services. And I think that would pretty much be what our chief medical officer would say in a follow-up meeting with her. So that is pretty much the only thing that we will be able to do in terms of business partnership, where we offer your services and so on. So this would probably be some sort of a post-paid kind of relationship where you maybe you have an app, a system or something like, you forward the data to us, we make a call to the patients. This could be a regular call or a video call, something like that. We can work that out. The other thing I just wanted to touch base on is like the referral thing, because I understand the idea of partnership, but it's been a long time since we have been talking about referral programs. I'm not 100% sure about the technicalities, but since we are under the our clients are the HMOs and insurance companies, and the majority of our clients are already connected to these majorities, like 98, 95%, whatever, of the clients that patients that go through our systems are connected to these HMOs and insurance companies. So we can't really go and say, hey, you should go to this clinic or something like that, unless we have some kind of a uniform agreement with our customers. So I have been thinking a little bit about alternatives way that we can help each other. So the co-branding option, but this is also, I think, one of the reasons why Jake mentioned the Fullerton Health Group, because if we do some sort of co-branding, I think we need a larger organization, so that it's not just going to be your clinic, it's going to be the overall Fullerton Health. And in regards to that, I just would like to ask if Kami is he the CEO of Fullerton Health in the Philippines, and as her role, does that represent all the different companies that or clinics that Fullerton Health owns in the Philippines, including yours?
Okay. Well, Miss Carmi is the country general manager of Radling Philippines Radling Philippines. So she is the one that is leading our clinic in BGC and subsequently future clinics.
Okay.
However, I would not be able to speak on behalf of the Fullerton Health Group. I can only represent the Radling Philippines and Fullerton Health Philippines.
Okay. So in case of referrals, I mean, we have a pretty significant amount of consultations on a monthly basis. But if I go or Jake or we go and we ask one of our HMO partners, like, would you be okay if we refer like a certain specific type of patients of yours to executive checkups in this particular clinic? How we haven't done that before. This is kind of new for us. So what I'm thinking is a more like we have to define very specifically how do we do a co-brand campaign. We could utilize social media and say MPD and Fullerton Health has partnered up. We can utilize our websites, our marketing staff, go out there and say we have a partnership. We can take some photo pictures of our team and your team and so on. But in terms of how we forward clients to you, I don't know how we are going to do that yet, because that's a very technical thing with both Jake and Ange and also our head doctor. They need to be involved in that, and we need to kind of involve our clients and so on. So do you have any ideas, suggestions on how we can do this the best way?
Yeah. Okay. Could I don't believe I've asked this before, but where are your doctors usually based? Are they in BGC? Are they in Makati? Because proximity does, I believe it does, i- it 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 is important to know the proximity of the doctor, because from what we've noted, although we've had clients who are from like different areas in the Philippines, but those are very few. So usually doctors in Quezon City would less likely refer clients back to BGC and then go back to QC.
What's the, if you don't mind me asking, Julia, what's the importance of the physical presence of the doctor in near your
I'm
facility?
Well, no, I'm just thinking if like if the doctors in are your doctors able to, is location not gonna be a problem if the doctor is not in BGC?
Well, I'm not sure if Peter's giving you a thorough background of our business nature. No, we are a virtual
Yeah.
clinic, so our doctors can be in Sultan Kudarat, or can be in Bongao, in Tawi-Tawi, or can be in Apari, Cagayan, for as long as they have connectivity and they can reach out to our clients, then the client can consult with our doctor. So that's the essence of telemedicine, tele.
Okay.
So
Then maybe my question would be, are the clients that you get, where are they mostly located?
they are headquartered in Metro Manila. Their headquarters are in Metro Manila, and their memberships are spread across the entire archipelago. No, so
But
uh,
majority of your clients that do telemedicine, are they located, most of the patients are located in Metro Manila?
yeah, you can say that, but there are patients who are member clients of these HMOs that are also calling from the provinces, from various regions. So it's a nationwide coverage, Julia. No, so there's no limitation as far as the territory is concerned. No, so that's the nature of our business.
Okay.
So that is why I was asking what's the relevance of the physical presence of our doctors to what you are envisioning to happen.
Okay. If okay, then
But a majority of our patients are from Manila.
mm-hmm.
We have statistics. I cannot say anything with accuracy, but it's definitely majority. So it's
Manila.
more than 50% of our patients are from Metro Manila.
Okay.
For sure, yeah.
Would
Okay.
that matter to your patients? Whether the doctors,
Well, not
specialists, for
really, but
example.
I'm
Yeah.
also thinking as well how familiar the doctors are with us. So
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
the one of the, well, really strategies that we have to double down on is our visibility in your platform. Does your doctors know about us? And what services that we provide? Now, regarding the
Yeah.
HMOs, that's that's a different entity. If the HMO say that their members cannot go to us, that's not something that we can control. But what I be with what Peter mentioned is that it is important that we do a joint campaign, spreading the word that we've partnered, that my pocket doctors can do the executive health screening with us, and it's really just a matter of brand visibility um among your clients, our clients, and HMO clients, because also because we also believe that clients have a power when it comes to their HMO. um if let's say an account is really like a big account of that HMO, they can really dictate where they go to.
That's
Yeah.
But
that's true. That's true, Julia. And with regards to the proposal or ideas raised by Peter, that's something that need to be discussed thoroughly, discussed further internally, because it's a very sensitive matter, something that needs we need to secure the UNA understanding and acceptance of our business partners or our HMO clients, etc., etc. Because I guess, as you very well know, they want to certainly serve their interests, and if they have in-house clinics, for example, one big HMO, which are business partner, they even mandated us to direct their
I see.
patients to their in-house clinics.
I, I
But of
have an
course, if
idea.
the facilities are not of the in-house clinics are not complete, then they have no choice but to go to other clinics where they can uh, go through all the procedures that need to be done
Mm.
on them. So that's a bit sensitive, that needs to be discussed thoroughly. And it's easy to say or present it here as a concept, but it needs thorough study, and that's something that we will discuss internally, and then get back to you once we have a much clearer and more concrete platform to stand on. No.
I mean, I liked it as the co-branding thing. I mean, it's doable, I think, as long as we don't step on anybody's toes, to put it in layman's terms. And but of course, we're super interested in the Fullerton organization, and also your collaboration, as you being a part of that company, being basically a part of Intellicare and so on. Positioning us as a senior telemedicine company could potentially also open some doors for collaboration with Intellicare into the future. So, I mean, this could be a strategic partnership somehow. Fullerton is definitely a significant size company, and if we co-brand with them and you, that would be definitely beneficial to Pocket Doctor, as long as we've done our due diligence in terms of, again, not conflicting with anyone. But we just have to define it. I mean, we've done these things before, but it's a little bit delicate. We tried, like we had a partnership with a huge chain of outlets in the Philippines, probably one of the largest. I don't want to mention any names. And then we had a partnership with another huge outlet. And these two partnerships, they just completely rammed into each other, and then we ended up losing both of these partnerships. So we have to be very careful about it. I mean, for you, I guess it's not a problem because your service is so specific. But for us, we're kind of embracing the entire nation. So it's something we need to take into consideration. But in the same way, you could say that this is also a good opportunity for you because we are literally embracing the entire nation. So, so I mean, just to round this meeting off, I think we have significant or sufficient information from you. Thank you so much, Julia, for your time. Just to round it up, I mean, if we meet in person, we can do some follow-up meetings. I'm planning my trip to Manila, and I was hoping to meet your CEO also, and maybe me and Jake, or me and Jake and Ange could show up so we can shake hands and figure this one out. But I mean, in the long run, Fullerton is obviously something that we're very, very interested in to work with, and Telecare would be an amazing opportunity for us. Do you think there is an opportunity like that if we do this the right way?
Julia, I hope you don't mind. Just a rejoinder from me, and that should be it. We need to be very careful because we're going to thread a very, very thin needle here, in terms of the co-branding and this type of partnerships, because if we co-brand with Fullerton, and Fullerton partially owns Intellicare, and Intellicare is not even our business partner, not our account, what would our other business partners in the HMO industry would say about this, So care really has to be done, and this should be discussed thoroughly, and should have a consensus, meeting of the minds, and a buy-in of all the stakeholders concerned. Otherwise, it may explode in our faces, you know. So yeah, the concept is brilliant, I must say, but we need to be very careful. We're treading a very thin line here, unless we want to risk losing partnerships with the other,
Yeah, that's
to
also what I'm saying.
gain,
Yeah.
for example, something from this co-branding, you know. So that's why the information shared to us by Julia is very important. You know, the partnership with IntelliCare, the ownership of Fullerton on IntelliCare. I mean, these are really very important in our analysis. So from your end, we appreciate, Julia, if this is something that is just kept within the confines of this discussion, this meeting, you know, and not brought to Fullerton or IntelliCare, you know, because this can create some ripples in the market, because the market is very small, you know. I mean, one whisper from one HMO can spread like a bushfire later on, you know, if it's if it's uncontrolled, you know.
Okay.
So we'll get back to you certainly on that, but for now, that's the I would say dynamics, you know, playing around, and we cannot just say offhand that, oh, this is a perfect arrangement that we envision to have with you, etc. You know, we're not thinking much of the ramifications, you know, that this can bring to all the stakeholders concerned. So that's just about it. You know.
Yeah, sure, Jake, and appreciate your concern also. Thank you very much. And yeah, I mean, I don't have anything. I think we have so much data right now that we'll be able to compile something, at least have a proper understanding of if and what can come out of this, and what our proposal to you would look like.
Mm.
So if anybody else have any rounding up questions for Julia, Jane, do you have anything?
Sorry, Peter, just very quickly. I'm sorry for talking too much, you know, but this
No worries.
is also of interest to Julia and her team. The patients that we refer to you for diagnostic procedures, I think you'll be interested with that as well, you know. So that makes it two-way. You refer your patients to our specialists, you know, which we'll discuss, as what Peter said, you know, amongst ourselves internally with our chief medical officer, you know, the viability of engaging specialists to handle your patients. And on the other hand, we refer to you our patients with those with no strings attached to their parent, to their principal HMO,
Yeah.
for diagnostic procedures, and so that becomes a quid pro quo type of relationship. You know, you share with us, or you refer with us your clients, and we refer your clients back, or we refer our clients to you. So that's something that would make it more mutually beneficial, and that's one thing that we will discuss internally, and like what Peter said, we'll get back to you, Julia. That's all from me, guys.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Jake.
Julia,
Yeah. Okay.
thank you very much for your
Yes.
time, for
Thank you.
sharing,
Of
sharing
course.
valuable information, and we look
Yeah, thank
forward,
you.
like what Peter said, to meeting with you personally in your BGC clinic. Hopefully one of
Mhm.
these days, yeah. But give us some time to draw some plans, some proposals, you know,
Yeah.
that would tailor fit your needs. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
All
one.
right.
Thank you.
Salamat.
Bye.
Thank you,
Okay.
Julia. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.